Mhm. Um, I just wanted to mention that you're holding my son's hostage. Yes. And I think that you're holding Marilyn Van Proyen hostage. And I want to speak to her about her husband's involvement in organized crime. Now, this buying of the way, yeah. hmm I'm going to name Mike as a participant in the organized crime. Yeah. And I think that there's an obligation, yes, to take the reasonable measure, yes, to care for and protect my children and her children. Now, that picture of Susan Bowers, could you call her soon to be husband? Yeah, because the way that I see it is Mike is very much involved in organized crime. And I'm wanting to talk to Marilyn. And if Mike has to go to prison for the rest of his life, it'd make it a lot easier for us if he never got out of prison. Yeah. Now, I know that it's difficult for you to believe this, but for all this organization of crime against myself, yes, where I wasn't in Swim, I wasn't in Jefferson County, yes, and you laughed and you said, well, what's he going to do? What can he do? Well, I can sue you for it, and now I can sue you for war crimes. Now, this idea that you're just going to say that normal people are crazy for knowing that their rights are violated, yes. Um, I'm not going to have you do that anymore. Now, let's see here. Jury, witness. Oh, could you call that, what are they called again? The military commission. I did leave those videos in the email. And then there's Enemy Belligerent Interrogation, Detention, and Prosecution Act of 2010. Yes. Unlawful combatants. Yep. Enemy combatants, and then there is also a lawful combatant or a variation of it. Yes. Now, I'm wanting the Army to prosecute you for the organization of crime, terrorism, and war crimes. Yes. And I'd like them to do that. Now, it was a unanimous decision of the jury that I was not guilty. Yeah. And since I've never committed any domestic violence or child abuse, for any amount of time, really, yes, I want you to return my sons to me. I'm the victim of so many hate crimes. Yeah. And this due process that you say that you don't have to give me because you consider me your enemy, yes. Well, it is an actual seditious conspiracy of war crime criminals, yes, that have organized themselves to be able to say that we don't have to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Now, the sooner that you do this, right, the sooner that I can get on with my life, yeah. A seditious conspiracy. That's where police officers organize themselves, yes, to make false allegation of crimes, yes, refuse to exonerate the innocent, and refuse to admit the evidence. That's where you employ individuals from the state of Washington, yes, to fabricate fraudulent mental health evaluations so that you can involuntarily admit people to mental institutions. See, that's when you use what's known as restoration laws to involuntarily, yes, against the individual's will, administer a psychotropic or psychotic medications known as lithium, yeah, or lithium types, yes, of medications, so that the individual can never expose your world's largest organized crime family. Yeah. As I said, I probably have 50 to 100 pieces of evidence of how organized crime gets rid of a loudmouth, yes, that keeps spouting off, yes, that his rights are being violated, and that he's being obstructed from suing us, yes. Now, the sooner that you allow me to sue, oh, well, here again, this individual known as the discrete and insular classification of minority, yeah, the homeless man, the pauper, the individual that doesn't have to pay for his legal fees, The person that does or does not pay more than $200 an hour. I'm that individual that you said, well, he's homeless and nobody really gives a crap about him. And nobody has any idea what we're doing. Yes. And that you can violate all these laws and never get prosecuted. Yes. For the world's largest organized crime family. Well, I think somebody's going to have to prosecute you for forgery, fraud, felony, yes, treason, conspiracy, false arrest, yes, the organization of crime, and then war crimes and crimes against humanity. I put those substantive due process. Yes. I gave you some links to those. Yeah. Explains how they're supposed to work. Yes. Now, the sooner I'm able to speak to Maryland, the sooner that we're able to, oh, look at 18 years conspiracy to defraud the United States. Does organized crime fit the description of the defrauding of? Well, it seems that it should. If it doesn't, we might want to make a small adjustment to the Department of Justice. In fact, why don't you get me their tax returns and every employee of the Department of Justice? Yes. Their cell phones and the nearest cell phone tower where they're at. Yes. Because I think I'm going to sue the federal government for the use of any of the cell phone infrastructure of the United States. And all of you can pay an additional fee as federal employees. It'll be a condition of your employment where you pay me approximately $1,000 a month for each and every employee to be able to.